All right, welcome back to the channel, everyone. So this is going to be our first episode of our podcast. Conveniently, we've called it based on the past two episodes that have been pretty up there. Like you guys have enjoyed them. A couple people who were like me, But welcome to our first podcast, our first episode of our podcast, and it's going to be called "The Truth About Silver." So welcome. So as you guys see here, I have the patch notes for the test server pulled up. So let's just go ahead and read through some of this. Might and favor increased. So this is really good for anyone who's in a guild and whatnot. And they're trying to get their might increased. You know, you get more might for gathering and fishing in the outlands, of course, and the roads. For those of you who kill spiders, I mean it's only a 5% increase, so nothing really to worry about there. When it comes to PvE, 23% increase. So keep that in mind whenever you decide to kill a boss. They're really worth it right now. Um, well, I mean, whenever the update comes out, right? This is patch 15 or season 15 patch. Patch 6. So, award for winning corrupt dungeons is 20%. You get 20% increased might and favor. And just so you guys are aware, I'll probably pull up the little screen here in a minute so you guys can see what the might stats are. Crystal League changes 5v5. Okay. Updated version of STIP territory, also known as Resource 2 GVG map. I don't really do Crystal League stuff, so I mean, respawn timer set to 15 seconds, and then respawn time increase per minute is 0.75 seconds. Okay, instead of one. Match rewards have been improved. Okay, for those of you who do Crystal League, your rewards are now improved, so you're gonna get better loot. Randomized randomized and static dungeon changes. So this is a big one. All right. So you will now find upgraded dungeons out in the out in Albion. That's here in the Royal Continent and out in the Black Zone. As you guys can see, this affects randomized dungeons of all tiers and zone types. Includes solo dungeons and group dungeons. Dungeons that are in elevated mob slash reward state are indicated by updated visuals on the dungeon entrance, which I'm about to show you. And then additionally, in static dungeons, some mobs have been adjusted to maintain the effectiveness of group against them while making it harder for players to kill them solo. Okay, so group dungeons will be a little bit harder for solo players. Guard Lieutenant, Commander of the Guard, Morgana. Increased time between casts to allow for more auto attacks and increased attack speed. Okay, attack speed's really gonna mess with us because you do realize us getting those attack uh I mean those our abilities in and stuff, like the auto attacks is what really hurts us. um Cryomancer, Mystery Cryomancer Undead. Cooldown for Frostbolt is 4 seconds to 8 seconds to allow for more auto attacks. Nice. And increased attack speed. Yikes. Okay, so that's gonna hurt. This is a big one that I'm really happy about because I noticed this when I was on mobile. Is the automatic silver pickup. And I was so jealous because mobile players could do this and we couldn't. We had to click on everything. And I mean, I'm telling you, I think I'm getting carpal tunnel from picking up silver. So silver is now picked up by default, which is amazing. It can be disabled, but I don't know why you would want to do that. Are you mental? Silver is not automatically picked up if it is protected, if the player is dismounted, or if would result in the termination of an effect that manual pickup would normally cause invisibility or protection buffs acquired from changing regions. Silver is automatically picked up immediately after these temporary effects expire. Silver can still manually be picked up, which results in the usual termination of temporary effects. This replaces the pickup behavior previously available only on mobile, see what I mean? And should result in a much smoother experience on mobile devices. So, just so you're aware, you won't pick up silver if you have any kinds of buffs that would normally get terminated because you picked up the silver, right? So, say you have the invisibility buff from like the Black Zone. You pick up the shrine, you're running around, you see some silver, you want to pick it up. Well, you can't automatically pick it up, which is good, which means those effects will still be active and you won't get revealed. But if you decide to dismount and pick it up yourself, you will be revealed, resulting in invisibility loss, and you still being silenced. I am so sorry for my. I don't plan on editing this at all. It's just pure one take. So we're gonna go ahead and switch over to Albion. So I'm gonna show you guys real quick. This is what I mean. We have the visual updates. Ooh, hello. What is orange? So I think this is green, right? So this is like 16%. Let's go ahead and jump in here real quick. And this is tier 5 dungeons. So I will be running one of these. So that way you guys can see what the elevator loot looks like. Let's see. So this is 84% stronger. So this is a legendary. My bad. That was yellow, not green. So this is a legendary dungeon. That's insane. 84% stronger. Okay. And I believe this one right next to me, it's orange, right? So it might be harder than this one. Let's check it out real quick. Wait for it to let me in. Let me in. Thank you. All right, now that we're in, let's just go ahead and let's see what the difficulty is on these. 84% stronger. Okay. So, I'm gonna go ahead and go clear this dungeon. Just so we can see what the loot is at the end. Well, I really don't even need to kill these mobs. I can just run through here, actually. And get to the chest. So I'm going to go ahead and skip through this. So we have... Whoops. So... Let's see, what do we have here? Party marker improvements. Party markers on non-party players now persist through zone changes, as other party markers have since patch 4. So that's good. I guess that's good for like when you're doing faction warfare. Let's see what else we got here. Hideout under attack state. Improved feedback for characters inside hideouts that are currently under attack. A musical and ambience change now accompany the tech message. That's pretty cool. Also, I heard that I think it was for this where you get your shield for longer, like you can go further out with it. So that way you don't die when you get attacked. I think that was a thing. I'm not sure. Or I think someone talked about that wanting to be a thing. Looting dismount changes. I noticed this one as soon as I logged in. So hostile dismount status now prevents looting of killed hostile players. Additionally, players must now dismount before looting a killed player. This change, and just so you know, this works for chests too. You can't click on a chest and loot it. You have to dismount and loot it. To require a greater commitment to potential PvP while looting in combat situations, bringing greater risk to a previously easy reward. To prevent players from accidentally losing their shield bubble when clicking on a corpse, which is often used to bait less experienced players into being easily attackable. I've seen this one a lot in the Block Zone, right outside the gate. And just so you guys are aware, every time you go to open a chest, there is a cast time. So you have to wait for that cast time to finish so you can open the chest. Here's the thing, you leave the chest, you want to go back in it, there's a cast time. So every time you go to open a chest, there's a cast time. This goes for anybody. So if you open the chest, or if, whatever, people still have to click on it, and they will have a cast time, so they have to open the chest themselves. Keep that in mind. So here's another feature. They added option to create loadouts while inspecting another player and via kill/death screens. So you can see right here, save as a new loadout. Come over here, open loadouts. Now we have a loadout for it. Wait, where's it at? Where's it at? Oh, here it is. Okay. And then this is his build. You can see his build, and then you can buy his builds from the marketplace and use it. Treasure mobs now remain on the minimap until fully harvested. Previously, the markers disappeared upon death. This goes for animals with 30 gatherable charges of hide added with the land. Okay, so that includes the animals with 30 gatherable charges of hide. Okay. Rare fish of all types are no longer biome exclusive and now all have a small chance to be caught in other select biomes. That's really good. That's really good. So that means you can gather certain fishes that you can't from certain biomes in other biomes now. Add additional line in the marketplace sell order notification which items sell above the original asking price. Updated knockback behavior of energy vortexes to feel more responsive and reactive. I think I felt one of those. It wasn't that great on the normal server, so I think it should be a big change here. Improved behavior of rotatable channeling spells in rotation with worse ping. Okay. Opening treasure chest now always requires a channel. Okay. You guys are gonna be buttholes to me. You guys are gonna be buttholes to me. Leave me alone. Okay. Let's see. So always requires a channel even if the chest has already been opened by another player, which is what I was talking about earlier. Crescent Slash double-bladed staff has been renamed to Soaring Swipe to distinguish it from the E ability of Clarent Blade. Got it. So just a name change there. Earth Creeper Shaman in group dungeon randomized dungeons now marks possible targets of her melee attack. Okay. So combat changes we have here for the Arcane Staff. Mimic for all Arcane Staffs. Timeout cooldown from 20 seconds to 0 seconds. To make Mimic more flexible and less punishing, stealing an ability no longer triggers the cooldown if the ability is not used. Okay. Axe's Blood Bandit has offered too much sustain in solo PvE, making it possible to reliably solo a lot of content not intended for solo players to reduce its self-sustain. Oh no, the lifesteal effect is now limited to one target and can be triggered less frequently to improve its damage and utility. However, it can now be cast twice in a row. Okay. First use deals physical damage depending on the rendering bleed charges on the target and immediately resets the cooldown. Okay. Second use deals 110 physical damage and heals the caster based on the rendering bleed charges of the first enemy hit. This heal only applies for the first enemy hit. Consecutive hits do not grant additional healing. Yikes. Okay. 150. It's a max. Oh no. Time window for the second activation is 10 seconds. Cooldown increased double time to 20. Hammer. To make Forge Hammers a more interesting option in combat meta, Giant Steps, my bad, Gain, has been reworked to no longer revolve around an auto attack buff. Instead, a new ability is now available while in giant form, whereby the hammers are repeatedly slammed into the ground in front of the caster. This deals constant physical damage in an AoE radius. That sounds really nice. So I'm gonna have to try the hammers out. I've never tried hammers, but this sounds really nice. Giant Steps, okay, removed attack damage buff. While Giant Steps is active, the caster can use the new ability Giant Smash effect. Slams hammers on the ground, dealing 75 physical damage in a 4-meter radius. What is that, 1.2 seconds? Yo, 4-meter range. This ability can be used repeatedly as long as Giant... Oh, that's insane. So every second, pretty much, you can do 75 free damage. Only, or Holy Touch, right, on staffs was slightly underrepresented in the game, so to once again make it a force to be reckoned with in 2v2 Hellgates. Its healing output has been increased slightly. Healing per tick 50 to 55. So let's go ahead and take a look at this, right? So, let's pull up, or actually, I don't even think I need to do that because it's right here. Holy Staff. And this is all Holy Staffs. So let's see which one is this. We're looking at Holy Touch. Where's Holy Touch? Hello? Holy Touch, Live Touch Staff. Oh, my bad. Live Touch Staff. Here it is. So for this, Holy Touch, healing for the target is 94 every 0.6 seconds, which channeling for up to 3 seconds can be used while stunned or silenced. Cleanses all crowd control effects and debuffs except damage over time effects. So what this does is it heals them every 6, okay, for up to 6 seconds. Or 3 seconds. So you get what, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 ticks, so like 600 health. which isn't too bad compared to what I use, which is this, and I use this ability here for 53 health every 1 second, but it increases 53 every 1 second up to 7 times, so that's insane. Yeah, that's pretty good actually. Nature staff. So I'm gonna actually swap these over to the patch notes so you can read these, because I don't want you guys looking at some lonely stuff there. Uh, so when it comes to shoes, as you guys have seen here recently, uh, well, let's just go to nature staff first. Spirit animal had of late not seen much use in large group scenarios, with players only relying on wild staff instead to make it more attractive in its intended setting. The maximum group size it can affect has been increased, along with its immediate heal. Max targets to 15, instant healing by the elk to 110. Okay. Shoes. So this is the big change. You guys have seen this while I was running around. Run on all shoes has been removed and is now dodge. Energetic sprint on all cloth sandals now have 5 second duration instead of 3. Move speed bonus has been decreased to 80. Energy per second has been increased to 4. And then total energy gained is increased to 16. Refreshing sprint. This is one that I use a lot, right? So the duration has been now increased 2 extra seconds. Move speed has been decreased by 20%. Unfortunately, cooldown increased by 2.5 seconds. That's gonna make a big difference in fights. And cooldown reduction 49% to 25%. Okay, so okay. This is bad. This is very bad. Due to the fact that refreshing sprint was how you would burst damage. And now it's gone. So that's big. Keep that in mind, everyone. That's gonna be a huge game changer when it comes to PvP fights. All right. Oof, that's actually insane. Rejuvenating sprint plate boots duration has been increased to 5 seconds. Move speed has been decreased by 20%. Health per second has been decreased by 0.48, and total health gained has been increased to 80. So that's not bad. Dodge. Okay, so Assassin Shoes dodge is now first slot ability replacing run. New third slot ability added, Swift Cut. Dash behind a targeted enemy and deal 111 physical damage. Cooldowns 12 seconds. Range 7 meters. So this is really good for when you're using like whatchamacallit, like Bloodletter. So say instead of putting that one run ability, I mean you could probably do both dashes, right? Dash dash. And this is really good for catching up, especially if you don't have level 85 to use that one dash ability. This is really good replacement. Let's see for mounts. With recent changes that increased the survivability of mounts, pest lizards became quite oppressive in an offensive role when used to follow hostile enemies into the battlefield and sneak away with the loot of players, dying in large fights. You provide too much value with too little risk, therefore toxic reaction tusk cloud have the radius and duration reduced. Okay. So pest lizards toxic reaction now 5 meters, durations now decreased to 275, and the cooldown's been doubled. Okay. And then the toxic cloud itself is decreased to 5 meters, and duration has been decreased to 2.75. So that's insane. Okay. And then hideouts. The short range protection bubble from a hideout made it very difficult to defend a hideout that is under attack. The original reason for the bubble's short range was to prevent players from hopping safely between hideouts. Since entering hideouts, since entering hideouts when not set aside now requires a channel, the protection bubble no longer needs to be limited in this way, and its range there has therefore been increased. This is what I was talking about. So max distance that can be traveled while keeping invulnerability bubble is now 50 meters. Now that's really good because, now you can't get attacked right outside the hideout. You can actually go further now, and there's less penalty to that. So let's go ahead and swap back into the game, and we're going to go defeat this boss real quick. Or I guess we're not going to go defeat this boss. I'm going to run for my life. Okay, so we just killed this boss and we got a legendary chest. So, okay, so just so you're aware, for this type of dungeon. I think this is maybe the max, right? It's a legendary dungeon. Um, so I think it was like 84% increase in difficulty, which means they scaled the loot up, right? So we made practically 1.2 mil right here, from this legendary chest, which isn't too bad. That's actually pretty good. Um, and just see where this is with the new change, like the new change, right? So that's like, this is a boosted dungeon. So this would be, I think it would be like a 5.4, technically 5.4 tier 5 dungeon, and we managed to pull like 1.2 mil from it, from that legendary chest. uh that's probably with my premium bonus. I don't know what it'd be without the premium bonus. Maybe like 600k, 500k, yeah, something like that. So that really wasn't too bad, actually. So I'm gonna run to the end. I've already cleared out this entire dungeon, um and I'm gonna go open the last chest. It was a blue chest, and we're gonna see how much we get from that. But from what I can, oops, from what I can see, I really didn't get much from there, to be honest. Like, item wise, it wasn't a lot. um Also, it says 1.2 mil, but you gotta remember that this is the test server. So like, a bunch of this stuff is like weird. Like 128 for the shoes. Maps are 200k, like 100k a piece. This is like 1 silver. So like, you gotta remember, this is the test server. So none of these values are trash, right? Technically, all I have on me is like 20k. So this is how much I got off of this. 12k in bags. To be honest, this is just standard. Um, Standard stuff. These are standard numbers. But yeah. So that's the dungeon for you. So I mean, at least you know the prices of maps will go down increasingly. So I think originally for like a 5.1, we were spending like 50-60k for a map. They should drop significantly, probably down to like 10k, just because of the fact that you're gonna be able to find them around the map very commonly. Um, as well as like 5.3 maps. Point 0.3 maps are gonna be like a big game changer. Like, they're not gonna be so expensive anymore. Like, we're talking like 200, 300k for a map. 100, like, I think a 5.3 was like 200k, right? And you wouldn't even get 20k out of a freaking dungeon. I mean, I've tested them out. And they were not worth it. So this actually makes, you know, solo dungeons much better, group dungeons as well. So yeah, definitely be working on those, because you'll definitely be benefiting a lot more from doing those than you would doing regular dungeons. And it comes with like the fact of not having to pay for it. Also, see, look, watch this. Can't open it, but you hop off, you can open it. And then once you open it, all right, once you open it and you try to go back in, there's another cast time before you can open it. So yeah, that was definitely a big change that they did there. I hate the test server just because of the fact that it pulls your stuff from the other world, right? So pretty much everything you see here, like my gear, is trash because it was old gear. So I've literally been running around with a 5 flat normal great axe with less than the 800 fucking IAP, right? So like, that dungeon, it wasn't hard to clear at all. It was actually pretty easy. There's just one boss. The one for that legendary chest was actually slightly hard because I didn't do a lot of damage, so I wasn't able to out heal him. But game is going down. Server update. Server will shut down in 5 minutes. All right. I'm pretty sure that's just for the test server. But yeah, so I think those are all the changes that we wanted to get covered. I think those everything we want to talk about. Do remember that. Just remember that shoes have been changed. Dodge has been implemented instead of run, so run's no longer in the game. And then with assassin shoes, you have with assassin shoes, dodge is first ability, replacing run, and then the third ability, swift cut. So yeah, remember that dash, really good for getting behind enemies. But yeah, that's all the changes that I wanted to talk about. Um, when it comes to the market and everything, the market should change drastically because maps won't be so expensive. Expensive, which means when it comes to the economy is going to change a lot because maps aren't so expensive anymore. With this update, because you're going to be able to go find a 5.3 very easily, 8.3, etc. So we're going to see some huge changes to the economy. So I hope you guys get ready for that. When it comes to making silver, it's going to become a lot easier because of these changes. But when it comes to the economy, we're going to be seeing huge dips in a lot of the items that wouldn't normally have dips, and a huge spike in other items that normally wouldn't be at, so high. So just be prepared for that. There's a lot of changes coming, and the whole game is literally just going to change. So I hope you guys are ready. This update's huge for all of us, and the grind is going to be just that much easier. I hope you guys enjoy the content. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Comment what you enjoyed about the video. Comment what you're excited to see. Comment what you'd like to see next. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.